That leads us nicely into Arsenal. William Saliba initially shown a yellow card by Rob Jones after bringing down Ivan Nilsson. VAR check, Jared Gillett sent him to the screen. It was then upgraded to a red. Right, so inevitably Arsenal fans will be saying, what on earth is the difference? How come we have a player sent off at Bournemouth and Chelsea remain with 11 at Anfield?
I think it's a different situation. The ball, it's a foot race again. The ball's going over his head, but it's going down the middle, so it's not going towards goal. Ben White is a long, long way from Evan Nilsson, so Evan Nilsson, for me, is always favourite to get that ball. And another thing that played a factor was the fact that Raya actually backed off. So Raya's start position actually become harder for him to get the ball because he reversed.
OK, so a lot of people have been saying, well, Ben White could have come across and covered, like you were saying, Colwill could have come across and covered. So we thought we'd look at the statistics. The speed the players were going before the Saliba foul. Well, as you can see, Evan Nilsson was travelling much quicker, 16.96 kilometres per hour, compared with Ben White, who was going off at 14.8 at that moment. People say Ben White's a very quick footballer. He would have accelerated. However, top speeds in the Premier League this season sees Evan Nilsson at 33.47 and Ben White at 32.07. So Evan Nilsson is quicker over the ground, you would assume from those statistics. So I see all your 3 points here. First of all, that Ben White wasn't going to get across if we look at the statistics, and that Raya was backpedaling, and that then he was through on goal. Yeah. So, Sue, can you see the difference between the two, and can you see why the one at Bournemouth was a red?
Yeah, I think they're both the correct decisions. I think when you look at that, there wasn't a covering defender at Arsenal. Yes, Ben White was there, but would he have got across in time? It didn't look like he would. You look at the direction of the ball, so I think that's where it's different to the Chelsea one, where they did have the recovering defender and the direction that the ball was going. So I thought on both instances it was the right decision, and you can see subtle differences between the two.
Yeah, I love the fact, again, that the referee makes a decision but then works with the VAR team to come to the correct decision. I was listening to the VAR because I was at the game, the Bournemouth game as well, and I'm listening to the discussion that the VAR are having, and they're talking about ball flight, they're talking about the goalkeeper's position, backtracking. They just turn the camera angle round so they could see David Raya moving backwards. Then they're looking at Ben White's position. I'm thinking, great, you're taking everything into account here. But again, I love the fact that Rob Jones goes over to the monitor, looks at it. They talk him through exactly what they've seen, what they've looked at. And it took a while to get there, but they got there and they got the right decision. And I think the decision at the weekend as well was probably easier for them, having seen the decision the night before, because it's fresh in the mind. They know what they're looking for. They're looking for the ball flight. They're looking for the nearest defender. And I thought that was the correct decision as well. So really good from the VAR.
I think what you've done there, Stephen, as well, you've painted a picture that the referee can't have on the pitch, because in natural speed, he gets one look. So yeah, he looks and you try to photo snap it in your head, but it's very, very difficult because the ball moves, the players move. And without doubt, the minute Evan Nilsson goes down, Ben White then covers a lot of ground in that time.
Yeah. And
Evan Nilsson on the ground, everything changes. But as you say, they walk them through that step by step, and you look at it and you go, yeah, he wouldn't have got there, he wouldn't have got there.
Yeah.
And everything changed. The whole landscape's different.
Well, I think so as well. If you look at Rob Jones's position, his focus is solely on that incident. It's not scanning. If he's probably 10 yards back, he probably sees Ben White then and sees the distances between. But that's where you do need the help, and I thought it was really well worked out.
OK, let's just clear this up as well, because plenty have been said about Howard Webb and any potential role he played in this. We saw him mic'd up and on his phone. Right, let's sort this once and for all, Dermot.
Yeah, all the coaches that go to games have an earpiece, and they actually listening to the conversations between the officials on the pitch. So what he can hear is the referee might be relaying to the assistant, I've seen this, you've got a different angle, tell me where he is and such like. So he can hear that, but he can't speak to anybody. It's impossible. It's accept call only.
There we go. OK. Bournemouth awarded a second-half penalty. First of all, any issues with the awarding of the penalty? And secondly, Raya shown a yellow card here. Some people might well think that should have been red.
Penalty for me. Doesn't get the ball. Goes with his hands to get the ball as the goalkeeper would. But it's not a red card, is it? This is the thing. He has every right to try and get the ball. He doesn't because the player moves the ball away. Yeah, he can't get the ball. It's too far away because he's poked it away. But yellow card for bringing the player down. That's all it is, Rob. Not red because of double jeopardy.
It's interesting when you look at David Raya. He lips or says, I haven't touched him, but he means with his arms. And it's the legs or the torso that actually takes the player down, Christie, and when he wins, Evan Nielsen, when he wins the penalty. So it is a clear penalty. It's the right decision again.
Yeah, it is, and the right decision to also award a yellow card because there is the recovering defenders there too.